Boy, ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited about this one here because we are back once again for round 2 on Sportswire Radio here live in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage. And this is the 6th show I've done in 3 days. I think I have a sixth sense because our guest here is going to talk about what happened last month in his return in DBW and how we saw a tag team, well, not so much of a tag team, and a veteran team seems like they're on their way to a potential tag team championship gold at the expense, well, not of this man, but his tag team partner. Yeah, we'll maybe shake some bones here, if you know what I mean. We'll also talk about a man that had plenty to say over the last year and a half about our guest. Now his boss, how does he feel about that? We'll get into that. I'll also announce another man returning on this platform from DBW to start the new year in 2026. Yeah, we'll talk about some other things. And boy, considering the way our guest looks, ladies and gentlemen, and he has been here many times over the past 2 years, he is certainly, and well, you might want to say that Grinchmas spirit. He is, after all, a heartless sheriff. And I think I'm going to introduce him as the name on the right. But I'm going to try to get this right, and I don't even have soda in my cup, so we're going to see how I do tonight. But ladies and gentlemen, let's kick this show off here and close the weekend out in style on Sportswire Radio, the number one global radio station where all music and wrestling matters, with a man who has eyes of a monster with nothing to lose. So with that, wait for it. Further ado here on the Sports Report. Number one. Sports show. He's one of the premier monsters around, not just in DBW, but of all of wrestling. His name, I think, is simply but the Heartless Sheriff Colten Lee! My friend, how are we doing?
It's good to be back here on Sportswire. It's been a good couple months.
I think it's been like almost 5 months since you've been here. I want to say it's almost 5 months.
February, I think?
No, I think you were here one time after that. I think you were here in the summer once. I think one time you were here in the summer.
Maybe.
I think you were here one. I know it's been a minute. I think you were here once in the summer. I feel like you were here once in July or August. You were here. It's been a minute. I know. Yeah, I know.
It's too long.
I've done a lot of shows since then. I mean, I've done 6 in 3 days. Some people don't ever do 6 podcasts, period. Yet I've done 6 shows in 3 days. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but regardless, it's been a minute. And how are you doing, sir?
Doing well. Been busy doing stuff outside and doing stuff outside the wrestling business, doing stuff in the wrestling business, but that's for another time.
Yeah, if it's not in the wrestling business, yeah, let's do it at a different time. Let's stick to the wrestling business. Unless you want to talk about Pete Rose again, maybe I'll give you a few minutes on that. But nevertheless,
no, I got feelings on baseball.
I'll
angry
maybe give you
people.
an opinion on baseball. You know you're one of my favorites on Sportswire. We have more DBWs coming back to Sportswire, thank God. So, we'll certainly be getting into that. We'll have some announcements related to that in a little while, I'm sure. But let's kick things off because I want to talk about the wrestling business right now at the moment. And the Heartless Sheriff, Colten Lee. For those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform that you and DBW have most certainly helped build, Sportswire Radio. Talk to me about what happened at Double Cross because it seems to me like maybe things are in limbo.
I mean, I don't know why people want to put the blame on me for what happened. I'm not the one that got pinned in the match. I was dealing with a very bummed knee, so I could barely get in the ring to begin with on that knee. So I don't know how you're expecting me to make a save on a bum knee like I did.
Well, I mean, obviously, I guess it's a tag team match, and you want to do everything possible to get the win. I mean, I'll certainly show you the footage, and maybe you can talk to me about why the people are wrong once again. I mean, I'll bring that footage up shortly, but it's a tag team match, and and by any means necessary, that you got to find a way and get a victory.
Well, I mean, I did do everything possible to give him a shot at the win, and he failed to capitalize like he always does. So,
well, that was a point that a man that runs DBW certainly made long ago. I'm going to bring that up because we now know somebody else is controlling DBW, and a man that you have quite the colorful history with.
I mean, yeah, we all saw what happened at the end of Double Cross.
We did.
Am I shocked it happened? Yes. Am I surprised at this point? Probably not, because he always has a way to.
He's always done that the last year and a half. I mean, you got to give it to him. I know that pains you to say that when it comes to Mr.
At this
Walter.
point, I applaud the man because he comes up with every other way possible. And I'm starting to realize if I should start trading under him more and more now, but whatever.
You could have, you could have avoided a whole lot of, difficulties for you in that. And by the way, before we get into your match at Double Cross, I want to say we're both partially right. Your last appearance was 7 months ago, which was May. So it wasn't quite February. It wasn't quite July. So it was May. So listen, we meet halfway. And I mean, it was still 7 months. So, you were here. I knew you were here after I think it was Martin Luther King Day. One of those days you were here. And maybe though it was Valentine's Day. It was Valentine's Day you were here. And I knew that I was partially right. You were partially right. But let's get to the footage here. And I want to do that now. So if you are here before I do anything else, I know eventually people will check this out. Let me put up the DBW YouTube channel because that's where you can watch some of this stuff. I know it's been an interesting year in DBW, but I promise you that 2026 is going to come in here like a lion, and you're going to see a lot of great footage from DBW. And DBW is doing a great job out there. As crazy as it sounds, DBW is going to hit 5,000 subs next year. DBW is at 4,200 subscribers almost. That is an impressive number. I mean, is yours truly? I'm at almost 1,700, and I'm like, wow. I mean, 42. I mean, it's it's crazy.
I think someone shared with us we're over 1 million views now.
I think so too because I was speaking with somebody in the back about that. I think you guys did break 1 million, and you guys are definitely gonna hit 2 million next. But let's get to the million first. Let's talk about that. So obviously I want to go to the footage. So we're gonna do that right now. And for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, I have it now linked right in, and you're gonna tell me why everyone else is wrong. So let's do that here right now. I'm going to share our screen, and we're going to wait till this plays out, and I'm going to take this there and just talk to me about what's to happen here. You obviously your old friend there from Chaos Conspiracy once upon a time, former tag team champion Robert Pearson, and you're out there and just here we are.
Yeah. I mean, this was all found on our hatred for what we were in Chaos, and it was basically what we like to call the Chaos Collective. It wasn't the conspiracy that everyone thought it was. We were a collective at this point. We wanted to show people that it wasn't just Cassidy and Pearson that were the tag team. There were other points that we could be. There were other points of that group that could be the tag team. And right now, it's about ready to show what me and Pearson could do in the tag team with this match.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question that you and him have certainly had some success in various levels, and obviously it's an interesting tag team combination because of your size and Pearson, what he does in the ring overall with his strength and just his versatility. So, on paper, it's a good team, and this should lead you guys to getting a tag team championship shot. So, I mean, in that sense, I would agree with you. You guys definitely complement each other. I would say certainly you guys complement each other far more than, let's just say, Cassidy and Pearson. But nevertheless, we'll certainly get to that. And an interesting team, a team that has a lot of experience, certainly one of the more senior laden teams you're going to have in all of wrestling. And that's, of course, Scorpion the Assassin and one Cyrus, the It Factor Cyrus, a man that we know very well on here. And these guys are about to come out. And obviously Cyrus has been looking for gold in that tag team championship. And there is also the man who holds the number one contender championship, and that is the one and only Scorpion the Assassin. So talk to me about being in the ring with these two veterans.
I mean, it's for me. This was I mentioned it before. Was when I faced Cyrus. I think it was last year.
In the past.
It was
last year.
Yeah. It's a learning experience. It's being in the ring with the veterans is all a learning experience for myself. Yeah, I may have been doing this for 5 years, but I was never getting any better in those first couple of years that I started doing this. Once I came here to DBW, I started learning so much more from the veterans like Scorpion, like Cyrus, like Judgment, Aaron, and Jacob Bryan, and those guys from VTW when they came up.
Ego, certainly. You throw Ego in there.
Ego, Brandon, and even Silas. I'll even throw Silas in there. How long he's been there.
Boy, that pains you to say that last name. I could just see it. I could see it in your eyes, to quote Peter Gabriel.
But all these guys have been here for so long.
Yeah,
that I love to pick brains on these guys.
Sammy, nothing. Got to throw Sammy,
Casey. I mean, you're dealing with a lot of the veterans here in DBW, and just picking their brain is so interesting because they've been around so many different people here at DBW. And it's like they just kept that knowledge. They've kept that knowledge for people for when us as the new guys come in and teach us the ways that they've seen people wrestle. Especially people like me. It's not a lot. You don't see a lot of people like myself come in to wrestle.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And I've seen a lot of wrestlers.
A lot. You don't see that a lot. I could think of maybe a handful of guys on the indies right now that are wrestling like me. The slow, methodical, big man style, not this hybrid style that a big man shouldn't be doing. I don't want to be that hybrid style. I want to be the big man that's going to overpower you at every
which is what you're trying to do right now to Cyrus. I mean, you're an immovable object at the moment. I mean, so yeah, I mean that's going to work certainly, and that's why you're a throwback. But so far so good, I would say.
Yeah, and this is like for me. People want to try and go head to head with me in strength. Like, I may look like I am weak as all can be due to my size and everything. To be brutally honest with people here right now, I am very much stronger than a normal person should be.
Oh, you think? Listen, you've been on here what 8, 9 times over the past 2 years. You really think that I would have thought? Oh, he's not as strong as the normal person. Come on.
I'm talking to these people who still want to doubt me after all these times.
Well, I mean, they haven't won in the
I'm
ring.
talking to those haters out there that don't want to see anything in me and don't think that I can do anything in this business, because there are people that are out there.
Well, we've known that. Listen, you have been on the cusp. I go back to 2 years ago with you. You were this close of winning the DBW World Championship at the height of Mr. Judgment's run. You have been knocking on that door for various championships, so we know that you've been right there. But right now, I mean, you're not in that ring, and certainly your tag team partner is getting his bones shaken here, and none other than Mr. Robert Pearson.
And like you can even hear me saying, like, if you want that number one contendership, you're gonna have to be able to beat him, because I won't be there to help you. And like, I'm brutally honest here with him. Like, he's gonna have to be right there. Good.
That was a good move. That was a good move. That was a good veteran tactic. It gets your partner back in the match. That was a smart move. Definitely. Yeah. I would say good instincts. You come back out there, you use what you do best in the ring, and that gives you guys an advantage. But what happens there when your tag team partner kind of pushes you aside at first?
Well, he's not listening to anything I want to. He's not trying to listen to me. Oh,
that's going to leave a mark. That's even for Scorpion.
That's like a freight train running at you at that point.
Yeah, that's like that. There was a story this weekend where there was a train in India, and it unfortunately killed a bunch of wild elephants. And that was you basically running. Yeah, we're not showing that footage, but I read it and I was like, yeah.
But you see me here. I'm sticking on Scorpion here. Solid forearm.
Well, you're one of the few guys in the company that can really push him around. I mean, there's not many guys that can do that, and there's Cyrus using his own veteran instincts and distracts you a bit, and hopefully that for his sake helps his tag team partner get back in the match. But there you go, using that. Listen, ground and pound. That's ground and pound style from what you're doing here right now.
Exactly. It's a whole complete package when it comes to me. Like, I love the slow, methodical pace that someone will give you, but I will lay it in on someone if I absolutely have to.
And listen, slow and steady wins the race.
If it has to be shoulder tackles, then it will be shoulder into the corner.
Slow and steady wins the race. And, obviously that's what we're watching right now. We're watching Colten Lee, the Heartless Sheriff, and the Bone Shaker himself, Robert Pearson, in action against the team of the It Factor, Cyrus, and Scorpion the Assassin. And my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce. You have voiced figuratively and literally with all music heroes. Yeah, listen, you know what? You're doing exactly what you intend to do. But we've known that from you in DBW the past couple of years. You control matches more often than not. I mean, that's been, leave aside the win-loss record, leave aside the struggles and championship matches over the years. You've done this a lot in your time in DBW. This is what you do.
I have. But for me personally, I struggle, and I am speaking here out of personal experience, wrestling so much now. I struggle at some points where I get lost. Especially if there's a lot of stuff that's supposed to happen in a match, I get lost in the match itself, because in my head, I'm like, what am I supposed to be doing here? What am I supposed to do here? What am I supposed to do here? Like,
right. So shouldn't that be where your tag team partner, who's held championship gold, is to help you get your footing back so you guys can be successful? Or am I missing something?
I mean, you would think he would be there to help me. But as you can see, he's just standing out there yapping the whole time to the fans, and I'm in here putting.
Well, you listen. Robert Pearson Robert Pearson has been here in the past, and he has always talked about the fans. You forgot about the fans. You've obviously become something. You're a monster now. You're a monster with nothing to lose. I mean, so that's where you and him are going to have differences of opinion in where to get yourselves back on footing here in DBW. And right now, I mean, listen, you're in firm control here against a veteran like Cyrus, who's held a lot of championships throughout his illustrious career. A man that's done a lot for this sport. And I mean, listen, you can't be in a better position, but there's your tag team partner. Look at, ladies and gentlemen, what Robert Pearson's doing. He was going back and talking to who? I'm not sure if they were in the ring, but maybe that's where you have some contention.
I mean, for him, he could be hyping me up. He could be doing something here, but he's just standing there doing absolutely nothing. And, like, I'm having to do all this work here. And as you can see now, it's taking its toll on me as they go after the one thing that will take any big man down, and that is the knee.
Going for the knees. That's a smart veteran move. Listen, listen. I mean, Cyrus is going to do that. Cyrus is one of these guys that he knows what it takes, and Scorpion's been a world champion here in DBW, and he wants the world title back. Scorpion is a guy that he knows what to do.
Hold on. Let's back that up and turn the volume on to that for a second.
Okay, all right, give me 1 second. Let me put it on pause. I actually have a new feature. I can do it in slow. I hate to do it at your expense, but I could do it in slow motion. Let's do it in slow motion.
We need to back up and listen to that slap again.
You want me to keep it here? Or you want me to push it further?
Push it back just a little. Push it forward just a little bit. There was a part where Cyrus.
I'm gonna go right here, then we'll go to it.
Yeah. So this here, for me here, this is probably one of my best holds, whatever, because technically it is a submission also.
Well, let's go to normal. It's not working.
Yeah. So this is technically a submission hold here, also as much as a rest hold. Also, I love this hold because it hurts. It basically puts all the pressure down on your shoulders.
I see it. Yeah, that's a good point.
It puts all the pressure on your shoulders and everything, and then it starts to hurt after a while. And then, as you see, as he was getting up, Stegel slipped right to the back.
Oh, he's doing the DDP there, waiting for it. Oof. Sing like a V, ladies and gentlemen.
Stay on him. Stay on top of him.
One more time. Say one more time.
You gotta take this guy. Stay on his head.
There is a point from the audience that you're letting him get up.
I wanted him into the corner.
Ooh.
There you go.
But I didn't realize he was going to kick me right there at that point. And that was my mistake. Like I said, it was me thinking, okay, I get him in that corner. I'm basically going to squash him. And right.
Oh, boy.
Right here.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna definitely leave a mark.
We call those angel wings at that back in
Not
the.
to quote Chris Priest, that's some sand wings of destiny you just felt there. Let's leave it at that.
We call those angel wings when we get slapped like that. And they do not feel good. They will hurt you for at least a good 2 days afterwards.
Yeah, you know what? I was talking with RJS, who was here last Sunday in your chair, and we were talking about him and his company, and we were talking about him wrestling. And I said, "Oh, what's the adjustment like from being in the trampoline to the ring?" And he said, "Tom, I'm in pain for a week, up to a week after going out there and wrestling. So you say a couple of days because you're a big man, and that's the difference. But there you are, you're back on your feet, and
but you can see me limping.
You've been in the match far longer than you've intended to be. The match has been going on for about 9 minutes. You've been in the ring for what, 6 minutes? I mean, Pearson's been in there for what, a third of the match, if that? Yeah, I mean, it's a long time. I mean, I could see why you feel the way you feel, but you know what? You are an immovable object. Listen, we've always said you had the tools. We've said it time and time again. I've known you, 2.5 years now? You've always had the tools. It's just a matter of getting to the finish. And you're going to talk about why it's not your fault here in a few
Yeah.
minutes. Scorpion's a big hitter. He's a guy that, he knows what to do, and he's resilient.
He has told me before, when I face him, if I do not lay it in on him, he will lay it back on me.
Well, we also know that he's going to be the only person left
Right.
at the end of the year wearing the face paint still. But what's this here? What's that there? What is that? What did Robert Pearson exactly do? A rather bizarre situation.
I was literally getting ready to set up for a spear. And
then wait a minute. 1, 2, oof. But still, ladies and gentlemen, this match should have been over. And Scorpion the Assassin is back on his feet, and he's just taking Robert Pearson and he's toying with him right now. And now he's got him right where he wants him. And beautiful suplex there, nice snap suplex there. And obviously Robert Pearson now, and you had control of this match throughout. And now Robert Pearson comes in there, and it's a complete role reversal here. And Scorpion has come back like another man that has worn face paint that will no longer wear it here in a few days at this point. But listen, I mean, this has to make you in utter disbelief because you had controlled this match, and now Scorpion's getting ready to finish it.
I mean, I'm not surprised, though, because let's be honest, basically, Pearson had to rely on me to do all the work and then try to take the glory for himself. It's what he did with Chaos. It's what he did with Cassidy. He's trying to do it with me too.
And we know he disappeared for a long period of time, and that was another thing that was obviously an issue with the group. But right now, Cyrus and Scorpion are doing what they do best. They're veterans, and they know exactly what it takes here. And unfortunately,
right here,
yeah,
I tried to get in, but I can't because of my knee at that point.
But
this right here was just uncalled for.
Object. Oh, that's one for good measure because, I mean, Scorpion gave you, as my dad would always say to a friend of his, one for the road. You got one for the road there. Let's just say for places we can't name. And Robert Pearson's visibly upset, but really it would be he is the one to blame. And it's all over but the shouting because Cyrus and Scorpion the Assassin have won this match here, and they're certainly looking for those tag team championships. And once again, you had an opportunity, and it's eluded you. But we can see Cyrus and Scorpion. These are the veterans, and these guys, they know what to do. And unfortunately, it was at Robert Pearson's expense.
And like I said, I'm not the one that got pinned in this match. It was all Rob. And then he wants to yell at me for not being there to help him. Like, first of all, I'm trying to deal with trying to get feeling back in my knee on the apron.
Well, I guess he felt that you should have been more forceful in trying to push back Scorpion and break up that pin so the match could continue. I guess maybe that's his bone of contention, I suppose.
No, his bone of contention ain't all that.
He is a bone shaker. Get it? He's a bone shaker.
Oh, I know, but his bone ain't all that contention is what it should be.
Ooh, wait a minute. So it sounds like you and him maybe aren't exchanging Christmas cards or what?
He knows where to find me if he wants to apologize.
Wait, so let me get this straight. Now, you've certainly said many things here tonight, just in this episode. But it would sound to me like, now my ears may need to be checked. This is my 6th show in 3 days. But are you telling us, the Heartless Sheriff Colten Lee, that you want your then tag team partner, Robert Pearson, to apologize to you after losing that match? Is that straight?
I'm not the one that got pinned. I tried to come in, but I couldn't because of my knee.
Well, I mean... I don't know.
And yet he's the one that wants to challenge Scorpion for the #1 contenders title. If you can't beat him in a tag match, how are you going to be able to beat him one-on-one?
Well, I mean, it don't matter now because he didn't win the match. So, I mean, I don't know what to say.
Exactly my point. You can't beat him in the tag. You can't beat him in a tag match. You're definitely not going to beat him one-on-one for the #1 contenders title.
Well, I mean, right now the only thing he may be worried about is just apologizing to you. I mean, what if he doesn't apologize?
You'll find out in the future if he doesn't.
Oh, I see. So really, this is just a friendly warning from an old friend that he should apologize for not getting the job done.
Yes.
I see. Now, there is something else I want to talk about because obviously this post and the eyes of a monster with nothing to lose. The eyes of a monster with nothing to lose. What do you mean?
I've had nothing. I've had everything to gain, but nothing to lose. Ever since I started in DBW.
Yeah.
And what hides behind a monster with nothing to lose is something scary that once unleashed is hard to control.
Well, I mean, in that match, there is no question that you showed that there is a side of you that I wouldn't want to mess with, and you've done this throughout your time in DBW. I mean, there's no question in matches that you show your dominance. You show your how you should be a totally dominant breakout wrestler. You should, no pun intended, but I mean, it's where we are once again with you, but you say this time's different.
It will be different.
It will be. It will be. Yeah, it will be.
I just want people to keep an eye on the future because there is stuff coming that will change how people think about me, but also how they will treat me in the ring from now on.
Well, right now in the ring, I mean, you treat your opponents pretty badly. I mean, you have treated them pretty badly, but I mean, this was a photo not long ago, but right now you can put an X through that because you most certainly want your then tag team partner to apologize. And obviously he's on the clock.
Yeah, he's on the clock. He's got,
I don't know,
he's got till Thursday, if anything, to apologize to me.
Well, I mean, it's Christmas. I mean, you been getting a 1-day extension.
All right, he's got till next Sunday.
Oh, well, that's even more kind. I mean, he's got a week. And I mean, we'll have to find out. I mean, that's certainly some rather peculiar comments once again from the Heartless Sheriff Colten Lee, and he certainly has plenty to say about the future of DBW. I'm going to talk about that on the other side of the chat here. Zilla's here first. Wanted to say hello, and speaking to people that I'm sure you know, and I wonder what their future is like in DBW. A man that is otherwise known as Chase Wakefield, a man who's gone by many acronyms, but he also wants to say he's the eyes of a monster with nothing to lose.
Wakefield knows. He's seen it up close and personal.
Yeah, he's definitely seen it up and close. And I understand
he's seen it up close, and he knows what's hiding behind these eyes.
He does, and he would know that firsthand because we know a few months ago something we can't talk about yet that you certainly were there, and you certainly, I'm sure, are going to want to talk about that when that's eventually released.
I mean, not only that, but he saw it at Total Domination.
Yeah, well, he saw a lot of things, and that was certainly, that was a while ago. But right now in the near and distant future, we're certainly eagerly anticipating that event that my understanding you may or may not have been a part of, and I'm sure aware of that names that we may or may not have heard of would be the likes of Peanut Butter and Jealous, who are supposed to have been challenging for the Mon Valley Wrestling Tag Team Championships. The likes of Bill Bain, who's certainly an interesting fellow, and a man I know very well, amongst others. So we'll have to see. And just putting it out there, a match between you and Bill Bain should be on your list of matches you'd want to have. But I'll leave that at that. We'll leave that at that. Bill Bain's an interesting guy. Yes, hello to Mr. Wakefield,
yes.
and obviously you know who this is. We'd like to say hi. Yes, and happy early Christmas Day. Yes, happy early Christmas Day. And yes, thank you. And Zilla, yes, I think we'll give her a pass on that. DB yes. And maybe it's a good time for me to make an announcement. And when it comes to DBW, because there is somebody else that is going to be back on Sportswire Radio. As a matter of fact, right after the new year on January 2nd, and it's going to be a special early edition, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, none other than the Blaze Ace Christian returns to Sportswire Radio to kick off the new year, and he's going to have a lot to say. He's going to have a lot to say in DBW, and he was just in the WDWA. He was their light heavyweight champion, and he's going to be here making his long-awaited return for the first time in almost half a year, and I am very interested
in the spotlight where he should be.
I agree with you on that. It's funny you said that. I'm glad you brought that up because I had on a wrestler, Dave Jamison. You probably seen the name around. And he actually said to me off the air, he said, "Oh, when are you bringing Ace Christian on? That's one of the guys I want to wrestle." I said, "Well, you're in luck because he's coming on January 2nd. So there you go. Yes, Ace Christian has a lot to say. He's been certainly tearing it up throughout the independent wrestling circuit. And he'll be talking about his dad, who we know his future is it's just, let's say the judgment has been given, but we'll leave that at that. Yeah, okay.
Ace has been phenomenal. I've been watching the matches.
Me too.
And he's only gotten better and better every time he goes out there. Honestly, he reminds me so much of RJ Carnage.
Yeah, that's a good point. But it's funny you said that because obviously RJ Carnage and Battlefield Pro Wrestling, 814, and I kind of feel like it goes in threes. You'll see somebody like an RJ Carnage, then you'll see an Ace Christian, and then you'll see the next person. And Ace is in that line of guys that we've seen in DBW that are moving up the ranks, and Ace is right behind him.
Absolutely. RJ, I do want to say here, from personal wishes, get well soon.
Yes, I was looking at Facebook, yes.
I saw that whole thing. I wish you get well soon. If you see this, I can't wait to see you back in the ring at Battlefield again, doing what you do best.
Yeah, Battlefield, our old friend D Savage is a part of Battlefield, and he's done a lot of good things.
I just saw I follow them a lot on Facebook because
Me too.
I love their stuff.
Tommy Invincible there. I mean, the man who wanted to be John Cena's final opponent. I mean, too bad. I would have loved to have seen that.
Lance and Elias coming back.
Yes, I had heard about that. Yes,
that's going to be insane.
Well, I mean, we want RJ to get well, and we want to see him back out there in Battlefield. And we love seeing him in DBW, but go out there and follow DBW. And how's everyone doing? Well, I mean, so far, if you ask us about Robert Pearson, according to Mr. Lee, not so good. So, I mean, obviously, I don't know how to answer that question, but I'm glad you're here. Zilla's happy to be here. We love seeing Zilla. And I'm okay if you call me a different name. Well, you're Zilla. I don't know any other names. Also, how about an old friend that is obviously somebody you had quite the in-ring battles with, the one and only Mr. Jackson Snow. And how are we doing tonight? We're doing great. I mean, we're talking DBW, talking about once again Colten Lee's problems with somebody else in the ring, and that gives me a great segue. And you talked about Silas Walker. You talked about him earlier. And I would love to hear your thoughts now fully on the man that, is your boss.
Do we have to go down this road?
Well, I mean, we have to, because it's part of business. I mean, it's what's best for business.
Unfortunately. I don't know if it's best for business, but
we're going to find out.
Here I'm honestly hoping for Judgment to win and beat the ever living out of him. I even bleeped myself there for you. No siren necessary for that one.
No, you didn't need the siren. We aren't getting
Yeah.
Yeah, no siren there. But obviously, go ahead. I want to hear it.
I can't deny the man for what he did. And that was beating Judgment down enough to finally pin him and take the one thing that Judgment has held for so
Day
long,
one.
and that is
Yeah, that
control of
of
DBW,
DBW.
basically.
That's his that's him and his baby. Yeah, I mean that's his baby, but no mas, no more.
No, and I think honestly, Silas may have done the one thing that no one should or has been able to do, and that's wrangle that the controlmanship
But we knew
away
that
from
this was.
Judgment.
But think of it this way, right? We knew with his whole control of things with Stephen Gaynor and all the things he said there, and how he has envisioned things here in DBW and for himself over the past nearly 18 months. You could make the case that this day was coming. It was coming long before anybody anticipated.
I mean, I think a lot of us knew it could have been in the future, but we didn't know when it's going to happen.
Well,
I
it's
think a lot of
here.
us,
It's here.
it's here, unfortunately, and I don't think. And honestly, I think DBW is probably going to be. I don't know if it's going to be better than it has been, but I feel like it might go in a good direction with Silas. It could not go in a good direction with Silas. It just depends on if he
Are you
wants
trying to be
to
careful here because you're worried about Silas? Wait a minute. I think I can figure this out. Are you worried that Silas, if you say the wrong thing here, that he may fire you? With your history, you don't have to answer that one because I think I kind of figured it out later because you stopped yourself short there, good sir. I mean, you are a heartless sheriff, I understand, but you're basically trying to stop yourself from saying things about how you feel DBW could go in the direction. You were going to say it could go in a good direction, then you said, well, and then you stopped yourself short. So it sounds like to me.
I mean, it could go in a good direction, it could go in a bad direction. It just depends on how he wants to act.
Well, he's going to act in the way he wants to act. What other way would there be?
It's gonna go. It's gonna go in the bad direction because he's gonna piss off a lot of people.
But I would say conversely, for himself, he's been highly successful the past 18 months, and maybe guys.
That is true, but yet when he's in control, he's gonna piss off the wrong person, aka possibly me. And what's gonna happen?
Well, he could also fire you if he feels that you've certainly said something the wrong way. Or
I want to see him try to fire me first.
Well, I mean, I would love to see that on DBW television. I mean, I certainly think that would be good TV. But I mean, we have no idea how much. Yeah.
Because I don't think that man is going to be able to get me out of the arena, and two, he might be squashed against that ring mat so bad they're going to need a spatula to pick him up.
Well, that would certainly be an interesting sight, I suppose, for some. But I mean, we have no idea how he's going to act. I think this is a really, you know what? I'm going to take a completely different path. I'm going to take the optimistic approach. And I'm going to say, I think it's a really exciting time for DBW. I think DBW has done a lot of great things over the past year plus. We've seen, different people come in and out. Brandon Costelli's the DBW champion, and there's some, we've seen what's happened with Ego. I mean, Brandon's going to make his return in the coming weeks. I mean, there's a lot of fantastic talents back in DBW. I mean, there's this guy named Hanson who's back in DBW, and from what I've heard, and there's the Brooklyn Prodigies. People love when the Prodigies come out there. You may not as much, but I seen what Sammy Nothing has done. Sammy Nothing has done.
Hold on. I may be a heartless sheriff, but I got all the love in the world for the Prodigies.
I love when those Prodigies come out. Man, you just want to go and give everybody a high five and jump up and bounce out to the music. But look at what Sammy Nothing has done with the World Extreme Championship. I mean, there is, I think, a lot of exciting things on the horizon here with DBW. Or the DBW, VPW wars.
Speaking of Sammy, I mean, technically, I've never truly gotten a one-on-one match with Sammy for the World Extreme title. Everyone else has gotten these one-on-one titles for the World Extreme title, but I've never really gotten a one-on-one title match with Sammy for the World Extreme title. I'm just putting it out there.
Well, I mean that's certainly something we could look forward to maybe in the future. But obviously the owner of the company maybe would be a good idea to get on his good side, so maybe he could help you out with that.
No, because he'll find a way to screw me over like he always does.
Well, we do remember your record in championship matches. Just ask Jackson Snow.
Exactly. We don't talk about the championship matches at this point.
So then maybe you shouldn't want a World Extreme Championship match at the moment.
Maybe, but also, is it time to finally prove myself that I can be the world champ, that I can be a champion?
I think eventually you have to get the monkey off your back. You eventually have to go out there and do it. Everybody's thinking about the NFL this year as we're heading toward the playoffs in a couple weeks. And, you think about the Buffalo Bills and how they've knocked on the door the last half a decade. The 49ers obviously look like they're back. And we know that they lost 2 Super Bowls, went to 4 championship games in a 5-year period of time. And, you're that guy kind of like that in DBW. You've had countless title shots, but you haven't won the big one. So eventually you have to get over that hurdle, whether it's with Silas Walker giving you a World Extreme title match or something else. Eventually you have to get there. But I mean, he is the owner of the company and he is the boss. So certainly he's going to be paying attention now ever so closely to what you say and your history. And remember, he presented you a path last summer and you didn't go with that vision. And that's kind of where we're talking with you right now about still.
I did choose to go down a different path. I didn't want to go down the path that he's going down right now because eventually what's going to happen when that path finally ends at the deepest freaking cliff known to man, he's going to fall all the way down and have to restart himself back over again. And
well, I mean,
right. Take.
Well, Silas Walker ain't going right down to the bottom because he runs the company. I mean, he's got the position. He's got the keys to the candy store, as they would always say. He's got the keys to the candy store, and and we know Mr. Judgment and his future, where it's going to be. And obviously, yeah, it was a day people didn't think they would see, but maybe it'll be for exciting times in DBW because it's in some ways fear of the unknown.
And I think that's what the main thing is, mainly for myself also, is the fear of the unknown of what's going to happen with this whole thing. With Judgment, I kind of knew what to expect.
Yeah.
I don't know what to expect with Silas as the head guy now.
Well, I hope when Ace comes here next Friday that maybe we'll have some more information on what the future will be in DBW. And I would certainly love to hear Ace's perspective on that. I think that would be a very, very interesting conversation. Wouldn't you agree?
I think Ace is the one to really give a full diagnosis of what's going to happen in the future with DBW, especially with Silas being gone, especially with Silas being in charge now,
right?
And
Judgment
being gone now.
Yep, I think that's going to be a very interesting conversation. And Ace will be here next Friday afternoon, so you have a Friday afternoon, which is great for me because then I can go and enjoy my evening. Hopefully, take a nap for a change. So that's a great thing. But it's my mom's birthday that day, so I don't think that'll be happening. But we'll find out. But no, I'm excited about that, and I obviously want to talk about Mr. Judgment. I want to bring Mr. Judgment back on in 26 and talk about his future. But we'll talk about that when that comes. So let me ask you, what are your goals for 2026?
I mean, like always, it's just to get better in the ring. I want to prove to people that us big men are the ones that control what we do in the ring. Not the high flyers, not these people that are running around us so much. We, as the big men, control what happens in that ring. And I want
I
everyone to
think
understand
that
that.
it's funny you said that. Yeah, go ahead. It's funny you said
I
that
want
because when Sick Boy was here, he talked about that. Yep. Go ahead.
exactly. I want all the people out there that are like me, and I know I'm going to throw out some names here. Ox McCoy, you are one of them that are like me. I've seen a couple of other ones that I see that are out there like me. We control how these matches go.
Well,
We
there's one I mentioned earlier that you definitely know, Bill Bain.
Bill Bain. We as the big men control how we run these matches. If we want these matches to run full speed the whole time, it will run full speed. We will be winded by the time 5 minutes hits. If we want this to be slow and painful like it should be for us, where we put so much of a hurting on you in those time allotted minutes, so be it. That's how it's going to go. We are the ones that control this. We are the ones that control the match.
That's just like how Silas Walker just controls DPW now. I mean, that's just the same way that would be the
Unfortunately,
case.
yes. Unfortunately, yes.
Oh man, well, you know what? It is what it is. What can I tell you? I mean, but yeah, Mr. Judgment, boy, Mr. Judgment, yeah, poor Mr. Judgment, I suppose. But I mean,
Yeah.
look, it is what it is. But I mean, we'll have to find out. I'm very fascinated what Ace will say. I know Brandon will be back on, and we'll talk about his story and other things. And I also want to plug your Instagram page so people can go check you out there, because there is an Instagram page you have, which we just saw Judgment. We got the point of the match. We know what the situation is there. But if you're on Instagram, do me a favor, follow the Heartless Sheriff Colten Lee and find out why he has the eyes of a monster with nothing to lose. And you can do that here on his Instagram page. So obviously, all right, I'm going to let you talk baseball with me for a few minutes. I really don't do it, but we did kind of talk about it last time. We'll give you the opportunity. So what did you think about the modern day committee and who they didn't put in the Hall of Fame? What did you think about that? And who only Jeff Kent got in? What did you think about that?
Why?
No Carlos Delgado, no Don Mattingly, no Del Murphy, and no Bonds and Clemens.
I mean, okay, as someone who's been to the Hall of Fame itself.
Hey, you talked about this before. I'm giving you a few minutes on it.
But Matt RC Bond stuff is there, Sosa stuff is there, Mark McGwire stuff is there. Clemens should be in there.
Yeah,
I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah.
The man didn't do anything during that time. He just got stuck in the wrong era. I will die on that hill that Clemens did nothing, did no drugs whatsoever.
Yeah.
I will die on that hill.
Well, Clemens and Bonds, I always say, if you took them even before the steroids or the PEDs, they were Hall of Famers. So really, those two, not exactly. That I want to not put people in the Hall of Fame, but if you look at McGwire, you look at Sosa, you look at Palmeiro, all right, you want to make the case and say they're not Hall of Famers, but Bonds and Clemens were Hall of Famers before they quote unquote did the.
And I said the same thing about Bonds before. If Bonds was on the road to being a Hall of Famer before.
Yeah, Bonds was already. He had the 3 MVPs. He was 40-40. Yeah, Bonds had 400 plus home runs. He was already a Hall of Famer.
He was already going to be a Hall of Famer. Clemens was a different category.
Yeah.
Clemens was just a rocket like he should have been.
Oh, Clemens, even going back with Clemens had, I think, three Cy Youngs. He had 2 no-hitters. He had 190 plus wins and 3,000 strikeouts already before the steroids. So automatically off the bat, he was a Hall of Famer. Yeah, I agree with you.
It's like excluding Mariano Rivera. It'd be like excluding Mariano Rivera for everything that happened with the Yankees. Like,
Derek Jeter. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
As a Met
I'm
fan,
just
I'm
I'm
with
just
you.
putting it out there, but
No, I agree with you. No, look, I mean, they made a whole big deal. They talked about Carlos Delgado. Yeah, they're going to put him in. They had the case for Dale Murphy. Although I don't know about Dale Murphy as a whole. I didn't watch Dale Murphy and really
I
play.
didn't watch a whole lot of Dale Murphy. I watched Carlos Delgado.
Delgado, yeah, now Delgado is a Met fan. Obviously I watched him with the Mets. I saw Delgado. I saw play. Delgado to me was a Hall of Famer. But you know why
saw
Delgado's not
Delgado
in the
when
Hall
he
of
was
Fame?
with the Blue Jays.
Yes, Blue Jays. He hit 370 one year. Delgado was a great player, but you know why Delgado's not in the Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah.
He didn't stand for the pledge. So after that, they don't want to put him in the Hall of Fame. But his reasoning, and not that I wouldn't tell people not to do it, but it was during the time of the Iraq War. He didn't agree with the war. So,
I mean, that shouldn't exclude someone for being in the Hall of Fame.
But the baseball writers, they're just the most subjective, secluded, people. You know,
don't get me started on the baseball writers because some of these people should not be having any writing degree whatsoever about baseball.
No, it's terrible. But I mean, Ken had to wait because he didn't talk to the writers. I mean, you look at Kent in his case. Now, Kent, I watched him play too because he was a former Met, and Kent was just a player that he won an MVP, had the most home runs, second baseman in the '90s and the early 2000s, and they didn't put him in, but because he didn't talk to the writers,
no.
But I'll come back to that in a minute. But this is a good question though. Who thinks Robert Pearson will apologize? I mean, you said he's got a week.
I'll even give him. Here's the even better deal. I'm in such a Christmassy mood right now.
Oh,
he's got the next couple shows to apologize.
All right. I mean, that gives him a little more rope. But I mean, he's going to watch this and he's going to say, well, I mean, that you and him were having issues at the apron and you didn't help him out. That's what he's going to say. I mean, that's what I'm pretty sure he's going to say.
He can say what he wants to say. Everyone saw the proof.
Well, the proof is he got pinned, but you couldn't break up the pin. You couldn't break it up.
Exactly.
All right. I mean,
exactly.
I mean,
I guess time break it up because of my knees. So,
I see. So really, it's all about Robert Pearson. But something tells me that knowing Robert Pearson, as we all do, I don't think he's going to apologize. So let me ask you then this question: let's say hypothetically he doesn't apologize. I mean, do you think something will happen to him?
I mean, we'll see. We'll find out.
That's a good point. I like to find out.
I don't know. Something might happen, something may not happen. It just depends.
All right, that's fair. Well, I mean, I'm going to share my screen because it is the holiday season, and I'm going to give you something, and hopefully I won't regret it because it's your day on All Sports. Well, actually, we're going to take that off the screen because it's the wrong picture. We're going to put it right back up on the screen, and I want to do that here right now because apparently I definitely need to get my eyes checked. But let's put it right back up on the screen. Now we're going to fix it because I think we have the right picture. Thank you to the crack staff, and for those that are listening and watching here on Sportswire Radio. It is now officially Colten Lee Day. So there you go. It's your day. And I hope I'm not going to regret this, but it is your day on all Sportswire radio platforms. So congratulations.
No. And I think, honestly, this has been kind of a long time coming. Been here, 2.5 years now?
I did put you in the Hall of Fame. I did put you in the Hall of Fame, but I gave you a day.
No, you haven't. You haven't put me in the Hall of Fame yet.
Oh well, you were going to let me not share my screen there, so you spoiled the surprise. Boy, you spoiled the surprise. But we're going to put that screen up next. I mean, boy, and now I was going to surprise you, but I mean, I guess you really ruined the surprise. I mean, boy, that wasn't fun.
I mean, it's been something you've talked about for me for ever since we started this whole thing, and
I know,
it's been one of
and
those
you actually
things.
spoiled the surprise because I was actually trying to surprise you because I was going to try to make you laugh, but I had a soccer coach on today, and I did the same thing with them, and then it was like, oops, and then it was like, oh, was I supposed to know that? And I was like, well, I was supposed to surprise you, but I guess now that you ruined the surprise, I have to share my screen because I was going to put you in the Hall of Fame today, so I guess then here we go because now I have it right in front of me. And not only was going to be your day, but now we're putting you in the Hall of Fame. So there you go. So there you go. You ruined the surprise. I was hoping to do it right before closing thoughts, but that's okay. You're a Heartless sheriff, and you are.
I mean, and I'm going to break fourth wall here. This
Yes.
is something me and you have talked about
For a while. We've talked about it for a while.
For such a long time.
And I think it's a good time. You know what? I think it's a good time for you to be in the Hall of Fame because there's some like really legitimate names in the Hall of Fame now. There's some really legitimate ones that are in there.
I'm in there with the likes of Raven and Rhino and
Mark Farner of Grand Funk Railroad, Jumpin' Jim Brunzell, Sick Boy, Gary Wolf, Pitbull Gary Wolf. I mean, there's some really good names in there. I even have Megadeth, David Ellefson, the co-founder of Megadeth. I mean, I can go down the list.
I mean, we've even off the screen, like off live, we talk about me going into the Hall of Fame so often enough.
We've talked about it a lot. No, you know,
and you know me. I always put it off for as long as possible.
Yeah, I don't think you wanted to be in the Hall of Fame. I really didn't think you didn't want to be in there.
Put it off for as long as possible. Not because I don't love being on Sportzwire. Because I want to have something.
I would have brought you back on Sportswire sooner, but really there wasn't much in DBW to talk about. And nothing good or bad. There's nothing. Like I said, Chase was here. Aaron comes on here every month. Aaron Blaze, and it wasn't. I don't even think I brought up DBW in the last two segments he was here because there was no news. So, I mean, nothing bad.
And I mean, I've been in talks with Hanson himself and talking.
Yes, Hanson was here, and actually Hanson was here, I think in September. Hanson was here in September.
Yeah, I've talked with Hanson about a couple things lately. So there's some stuff possibly in the works for the future. I'm not going to disclose everything
don't do
yet.
It yet.
I want to see what goes on first going into the new year.
Yeah,
see what goes on. But there may be some stuff going on where I might be showing up a little bit more often in a certain place.
Yeah, I know that place.
Just one depends on availability and a certain aspect of if they want me there.
Well, I mean, look, I can read between the lines, and congratulations, and definitely we're excited about that. And Hanson always comes on here and there, and I did a voiceover for his grungy show. So obviously we
best
love
thing in the world. I love.
That was great. That was great. Yeah, that was great. It was really. I hope he does another season. Hopefully he goes into syndication. Hopefully maybe we'll put him in the Hall of Fame again so we can get into syndication. But definitely we're here for a few more minutes with the newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, who really ruined his surprise, but that's okay. We'll give him a pass because he's a Heartless sheriff. He's a really big guy, but he is Colten. We also gave him a day here on Sportswire because the reason I did that, because when I had on the soccer coach here for our 5-town Sound men's soccer team, Brendan Wells, I purposely didn't give him a day so I can give you a day and then put you in the Hall of Fame. So we appreciate that. But also please support our friends in DBW. And I want to repeat to everybody here, the one and only Ace Christian returns to Sportswire Radio next Friday afternoon, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and he'll talk about DBW. He'll talk about his dad. He'll talk about the WDWA and who knows whatever else, and you'll see some more DBW talents. Austin James, I spoke to at a birthday recently. I know a man you don't necessarily see eye to eye with in DBW. And listen, I mean, Aaron Blaze is here every month.
Whoa.
I mean,
whoa. Me and AJ? Come on. Me and AJ are like...
You're on separate sides of the coin, technically.
We may be on separate sides of the coin, but there is some respect there.
Maybe, but you still are on separate sides of the coin.
Early in my career, I faced that man before, and I had my chest almost shaved in from his.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him back on. I always love Austin James. He and I spoke just the other day, actually.
That is a dream match of mine in DBW at this point.
Yes, no, I love Austin. Austin's great. We spoke to a lot of the guys. Brandon, we won't spoil what they said, but we'll be excited to see what they entail. And we're kicking off the DBW coverage because a lot of DBW stuff is on the pike and on the way, and I'm excited about that. It's good to have DBW back. I mean, I really, as a fan, love watching you guys in the ring, and it's about time you guys are back out on YouTube land.
Yeah, it's one of those things where
it's hard. It's hard.
It's not only hard, it's just everyone's schedules need to line up correctly. And
no, I just had on the guys in the backyard from LBYW, and they're ending because it's so hard to do put the stuff on YouTube and get everybody together. And I have the guys from BYCW coming back right after Ace, and it's the same thing. So I get it. Totally listen. People have lives at stake and such. And anything else you want to talk about? Anything else you want to plug or such before we move on?
I mean, I'll say this. Personally, coming up on Wednesday is my 29th birthday.
Happy birthday! I mean,
I will be. I feel old as crap at this point. My body aches at this point. I feel like I'm 50, but I'm almost freaking 30 at this point.
30. I mean, you're moving up. I mean, you're moving up.
Yeah, I'm in the dirt. I'm almost to the dirty 30s at this point.
Well, 27. They say 27. 27 is the beginning of your prime. So your prime ends at I think 33 or 34. So you got a couple more years in your prime. It's not over yet. Not over.
I mean, besides Wednesday,
Christmas Eve. By the way, Christmas Eve is a birthday, boy.
Yeah.
You can't ask for too many Christmas gifts, huh?
You'd be surprised.
Well,
right. But you may see me back on here a little bit sooner. Depends if this man over here does his New Year's.
You know what? Actually, a couple people asked me about that. Now, I will bring you one for New Year's Eve, but the problem actually is I do a show Wednesday nights covering news and politics, and I'm on the radio with 3 stations, and my co-host, Heshi Tischler, we're doing a show. I'm actually working Christmas Eve, so there's no, people are taking off. I'm actually on the radio, and I think we're live New Year's Eve. If we're pre-recording, I'll be here, but I don't know yet. I legitimately don't know because my co-host.
We do it New Year's Day, and we do the first.
To do New Year's Day. I'll bring you back on New
broadcast of New Year's Day. Like
I could bring you back on New Year's Day. I mean, but I don't think you get the same amount of people. But yeah, New Year's Eve. I just don't know if I'm here New Year's Eve. Christmas Eve,
exactly.
I'm actually not here. So yeah, if I'm here New Year's Eve, I'll do a New Year's Eve show. We'll get I'm sure like 30 people on the show. But I just admittedly I can't commit. I can't commit to it because, like I said, I do the 3 radio stations and we do news. And, it's how it goes.
Quick thing on baseball.
Yeah, I want to talk about that. I want to go back to that because I have a few thoughts on the Hall of Fame vote.
You saw a very surprising thing came out of baseball today. One of the best home run hitters in Japan.
Well, someone with the Chicago White Sox. The Chicago White Sox.
Not the Dodgers. The White Sox.
I think the Dodgers. Listen, there has to be a mercy rule with the Dodgers. They literally
don't get me started on the Dodgers. I have said for years there needs to be a cap limit on how much these teams can spend on players, and the Dodgers have overseeded that limit every single year.
My answer to that would be that's why next year we might see a strike. That
guaranteed.
Yeah, because that's going to be a topic, and that's going to divide the players and the owners, and that's why after next year,
guaranteed.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
I mean, just look at. Unfortunately for the Mets, they just lost their star closer.
Lost Diaz and Alonso.
But Alonso went to the Orioles. Let's be brutally honest here.
Yeah, but the Met fan is upset about that. The Met fan is very upset about Alonso.
As much as I am a Nationals fan, in real life, I am also a Baltimore Orioles fan.
Well, you are really living off that one World Series. You really are living. You're trading
Trust
like
me, I am.
You're trading a
love-
decade worth of misery for that one World Series. Just saying.
I got to be a part of one. I'm happy.
Yeah, you know what? I haven't been one as a Met fan. I've never seen a World Series, so I give you
I
that.
got to be a part of a World Series, and I got to be part of a Stanley Cup. I'm only missing a Super Bowl.
You know what?
I'm missing the NBA. I'm good.
You know what? I give you that. By the way, Mr. Christian is here. Who's here next Friday afternoon? Wanted to say what up? What up? Just say he wanted to say
What's up,
hello.
Ace?
Yeah, we're going to see Ace have a lot to say there. But yeah, baseball off season. I mean, as a Met fan, it really wasn't a great off season. I mean, we got, we really, it was a really crappy one, actually. It was a crappy one. But who do you think gets into the Hall of Fame? You think Andrew Jones and Carlos Beltran get in?
Andrew Jones should have already been in.
Well, I think he didn't get in because his last 3 or 4 years, he really tailed off. He had a low batting average. When batting average meant something.
I mean, true, but also
he didn't hit 500 home runs either. That was another thing. He fell short at 500.
Yes, but he was also one of the best. He was also one of the best outfielders out there.
As a Met fan, I watched him play. I mean, the guy was the best defensive outfielder.
He should be in based on the amount of Gold Gloves he has alone.
Yeah, baseball, but the outfield position is so weird. Baseball, you just never they put guys in subjectively, and Andrew Jones was a guy that kind of fell between the cracks, and he'll get in. Yeah, I agree, he'll get in. I don't know, And what do you think about Carlos Beltran?
Beltran's an interesting one because that's one that I grew up with, but he was never really that popular of a hitter.
No,
for me,
no.
So I think it's going to take a while for him to get in.
He's a stat compiler. I mean, his stats. He was never the best at his position, but his stats, it's one of those. He's not a great player, but he's a very
many more. When it came to his position, there were so many more above him that everyone.
Absolutely.
Would pick in a heartbeat over him.
But he played a long time. He played 19 years. So his stats, he compiled enough stats that,
Yeah.
2,700 plus hits. And, go ahead.
Yeah. There was another one that came up eventually. I don't know if he would get in or not. And this is based off of my price alone.
Go ahead.
Ryan Zimmerman.
Yeah, Ryan Zimmerman is another one of those guys like a David Wright for the Mets. I mean, he had like 6 or 7 really, really good years, but unfortunately injuries and the way his career ended, it puts him in that, like, I hate to say it, the Hall of Very Good. In that Hall of Very Good because it's the injuries. He was the franchise player. He meant a lot. Like David Wright. David Wright meant a lot for the Mets. They had great years, for a 5 or 6 year period, but it's like how I feel about Don Mattingly. I don't think Don Mattingly's a Hall of Famer, but it's the same deal.
I mean, Don was not all that great when he came to the Yankees to begin with.
Exactly.
The only reason why he got so big with the Yankees, unfortunately, sorry to all you Yankee fans that are listening to this, he had so much star power around him.
Yes, he did. He had Ricky Henderson, Dave Winfield. He had Jack Clark at one point, and then later on, he had Paul O'Neill. He had Bernie Williams. I agree with you. Don Mattingly, I mean, to me, he's not a Hall of Famer. I just don't think Don Mattingly is a Hall of Famer. No, I agree with you on that. Zimmerman, I understand your point because it's like right with the Mets. They're not Hall of Famers, but for the franchise, they are. Injuries hurt them, other things. But if you looked at what they meant to the franchise, but I think to me, people want to consider Buster Posey and Dustin Pedroia Hall of Famers, and I would put them in the same category. I don't think they're Hall of Famers.
Pedroia, I would call a Hall of Famer.
I don't know.
Pedroia, I would call Hall of Famer. Posey,
no. He didn't play long enough. No. Buster Posey did not play long enough. He's not a Hall of Fame. What did he play? 11 years? 12?
I think he played 12 years, but were those? I think they were all with the Giants, though, weren't they?
He won 3 World Series. I mean, he won an MVP. I know he won a Rookie of the Year. I mean, but I don't know. I mean, like they put
Yeah.
guys like Joe Mauer in. They put Buster Posey. They want to put Buster Posey in. I don't know.
But
I'm just
you
not.
could see. I mean, Cactus was a difficulty alone. Putting the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and
is
that's
one
the
of the
case
most
with
difficult-
Mauer because, yeah, I mean, he hit 300. He has a lifetime 300 batting average. Joe Mauer. I mean, I get it. Although Joe Mauer to be moved to first base, which is why I don't think he should be a Hall of Famer. Because if he played just at one position like Posey, I give you that. But if they moved him to first base, so to me, I don't think Pedroia is a Hall of Famer though. I just don't think because I don't think so. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. Well, what do you have? 1,700 hits.
Pedroia was part of what?
3.
Both World Series teams.
He won. I think he might have even. Did he win 2 or 3 World Series? He might have won 2. I think he won 2. He won. No, I think he won 3.
He won 04 with the Red Sox.
No, he won 07, right? He won 07. Didn't they win in what 2000? I'm trying to think. Was it they won another one? I'm trying to think. They won in 07 and third. He won 2. He won 2. Only won 2.
Okay.
He won 2.
I thought he was with 04 too, but
no, he did not get called up. No, I remember he won 2. He didn't win 3. I know you're thinking, but he won. He still won 2. 2's a lot, but I mean, I don't know. I don't think. I mean, he's a great player. But...
Yeah, like early on in his career, he would be considered Hall of Famer.
Yes, early in his career, yes, but I think again the body of work. He doesn't have 2,000 hits. He has 150 home runs. You know, baseball is to me weird like that.
It's another.
Like you said Andrew Jones, right? Andrew Jones should be a shoo-in.
Andrew Jones should have been a shoo-in to begin with.
I really think it's a stupid thing to say, but his batting average was so low that they just wouldn't put him in because of that. I really think that now it's different because the batting averages don't matter.
And then at that point, then half the Hall of Fame shouldn't be in because at the end of their career they all had low batting averages because they all started to suck.
Absolutely. Mickey Mantle was upset because he didn't hit 300 for his career. There was a story he told, and he goes, I didn't hit 300. I mean, all these guys, Ricky Henderson's lifetime batting average went from 300 to 278. No, I agree with you. But baseball, these writers, they're all weird. I mean, they're all weird. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to baseball coming up because I have to say I was really mad that the Dodgers won the World Series. I was really mad that they beat
I was honestly a Toronto Blue Jays fan.
So was I.
For those 7 games, I was praying that they somehow managed to pull it off.
They should have won, though. They went into Toronto up 3-2. They came back and wound up winning 2 out of 3, and they should have won all 3 in Los Angeles. They should have went back, and they had 2 games in their building, and they had to leave the 9th inning. The Blue Jays, man, they really – that was a choke. I mean, I hate to put it that way. People are saying, no, it's not, but they choked. They choked.
No, it was a choke. It most definitely. Sorry to bore all you.
No.
Sorry to bore all you Sportswire fans on this, but
no, it's okay. They've heard enough of me the last week. Trust me, they've heard enough of me. No, it's good. No, I hear you before I let you go. I always like talking baseball with you because I always like having you on, and it's always good to see you here. But listen, I would make you laugh. I was watching the Blue Jay Yankee series with my friend who was a Yankee fan on his 86-inch TV, and secretly I was happy the Blue Jays won that series because I watched all 4 games on his 86-inch screen TV, and it was. They were fun to watch. That Blue Jays team. They were fun. They were a fun team.
Yes, I was watching the Blue Jays Yankees games, and I was watching. What was I watching?
Blue Jays Mariners. Mariners Tigers. You definitely watched Mariners Tigers.
I was watching Mariners Tigers, and then I watched Mariners and I think the Dodgers play.
The Dodgers and Phillies had the extra inning series. That was the series where the Phillies. Oh, talk about a choke job. The Phillies should have beat the Dodgers. The Dodgers. I mean, the Phillies. How about the way the Phillies lost that series? I mean, all he had to do was throw. he had to throw it back home.
Phillies need help with their bullpen. They have the hitters. They need help with their bullpen, and
They didn't, but they didn't go back and make the adjustments for that. And Jade is here, who was on Sean Jovi's vlog, wanted to say hi. Thank you, Jade, for tuning in here. But yeah, the Phillies didn't do that. They signed Schwarber, and they're going to run it back with the team that they have. And I don't blame them. They win the NL East every year.
No, they did. They did sign a new pitcher.
Yo, you're right. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, they did sign somebody. I saw that.
They did sign. I think it was Keller. I think.
Yeah, I think you're right on that.
Keller. I mean, Keller's not horrible. I mean, his stats aren't the best record I've ever seen.
Yeah, but in today's baseball, I mean, you're not getting pitchers with 1.5 ERAs or 2 ERAs. You're just not getting that.
Well, we're also coming up on World Baseball Classic now too.
Yes, no, we are coming up on that, and you know, it was funny. It was Chris Russo was talking on Sirius XM, and he was lighting up into Tarek Skubal because Skubal said he's pitching in the WBC, but then when it came to the Mariners Tigers game, he took himself out after 90 something pitches, and Russo was lacing into him. It was just funny. I mean, I was listening to it.
I mean, Skubal knows what he's doing.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah, for sure.
I'm not gonna say Skubal doesn't know what he's doing. I think Skubal knew that his arm was not going to last another how many pitches that he was going to pitch.
But I think it's the point that your team was up. It was the last game of the series, deciding game. You know, you're the ace. You're the guy. It's your walk year. Prove a point. And go out there, and even if you gave him 2 more batters, I think that's the point. And speaking of people that we're going to get to the focus here, the man that you addressed earlier on here, it's Sheriff Woody. Maybe you'll learn since you got rid of the snake that was in your boot, you can finally become what you're supposed to be. See, you got what you wanted. Now, before we move on, and that the it factor is here. Now, I talked a lot about him at the beginning of the show, his experience, his success, and well, he's talking about why you weren't successful. Now, to remind Cyrus, and he'll go back and watch it, and I'm sure we'll get him back on here in 26, in January 26. It's always good to see the it factor. But Mr. Cyrus, to let you know what was going on here tonight, the one and only Colten Lee was blaming his tag team partner, Robert Pearson, for why they came up short. And he had basically controlled the match and gave his tag team partner the opportunity to win, but instead they didn't get the job done.
So, maybe learned a little bit from you there, Cyrus, about, I mean, you are the veteran. You and Scorpion were the veterans in this match. I did learn a few things from you guys. And, you know, Pearson had the opportunity to defeat you two and decided to screw it up like always. So, unfortunately, it's not my fault that he's such a screw up. When you can't teach people how to be correct in the ring, it's kind of difficult.
I see.
So, can't really help what has to drag you down to you can't really help what drags you down to the bottom.
But I guess the point you could make is that Cyrus and Scorpion are going on, and they'll have an opportunity maybe to get some gold where, you know, you're going back to the drawing board, which is what we've talked about today. But you're promising that we're going to see things that are going to shock people. That's what you promised tonight. You promised tonight that there's been a lot of people that's been doubting you, but you're going to prove them wrong here in 2026. That's what the message that you leave us here tonight with, is that you're going to prove people wrong. And maybe it's people like Cyrus who you have history with or anybody else, but you are going to prove people wrong. That's the message that you left with us tonight.
Yes. 2026 is about proving people wrong. That is my ultimate goal. No matter what happens next year, is proving people wrong.
Well, you know what? I guess to quote my guest that came on earlier, sound on, because it looks like the Heartless Sheriff Colten Lee is giving us that sound on, because he is definitely going to prove them wrong in 2026. He is going to, but Mr. Cyrus wants to say, have no fear, though. There's a change on the rise in the tag team division. Our match was like the Wild Wild West, and you got outgunned. And that'll mean, since we brought this out, they fired away and they hit the target.
Yeah, I will say our match was the Wild West. You guys did pull one out on it. You guys did pull one out on us. The old guards, the old sheriffs of DBW pull one out on the hired guns.
Listen, the old dogs still have enough tricks, and they know more tricks than the young guns, and that's why they're moving on. And you want Robert Pearson to apologize?
Yeah. Eventually, here we're going to see this happen. Whether or not it actually does happen will be up to him.
I think that's another reason why you need to follow DBW on YouTube. You need to follow them on Facebook and Instagram. And as a reminder, Ace Christian returns here next Friday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern time, to ring in the new year and to talk about the future of DBW plus a number of different things. We're going to certainly find out in another roller coaster episode from you, sir. And I'm going to pass the baton to you for some closing thoughts, and anything else you want to plug, share, or say. You now have the floor.
I want to wish all the DBW universe that's here watching, all of the Sportswire universe here, a thank you for a 2025 that I personally want to leave behind due to everything that's happened, and I'm not talking wrestling wise.
Okay, good enough. Yeah.
Wrestling wise alone, 2025 has been one of my favorite years of wrestling. However, the rest of 2025 could just
burn.
I see another celebrity death, I'm gonna freaking scream by the end of this.
Well, don't encourage anyone.
No, I'm not. This is 2025 has been hell for me.
Yeah, it's a tough year.
Losing eventually, especially for me, being the Rock fan that I am, and losing Ozzy this year.
Oh wow, you're in the right place. I mean,
hard.
Ozzy was a tough one. I got to be honest, losing Ozzy, and I had David Ellefson on, by the way, who played it back at the beginning. I just want to point that out. I mean, David Ellefson was there. I mean, Ozzy was a tough one, man. I got to be honest, Ozzy was tough.
Hogan.
Yeah, and by the way, they were within 48 hours of each other.
Yeah.
Within 48 hours of each other. Let's not even talk about Rob Reiner's death. Don't even do it.
No, that one sucked.
I wouldn't wish that on anybody, that Rob Reiner death. Oh my goodness. I know you want to do that to Pearson right now, but don't do it.
No. Unfortunately, what I want to say right now will probably get so bleeped out.
You want me to do it? I got the button.
I think his son is a piece of shit for what he did.
Terrible. Yeah, it's a heartbreaking.
Yeah, that's all I'm going to say on that. I think his son is a POS and needs to burn.
Yeah.
But Ozzy's death hit me. The funny thing is, I was working on waxing floors in a school during the summer.
Sounds good.
Not when there's no AC.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I take it back.
Yeah, there's no AC in these buildings during the summer. But we were literally doing these floors, and I happened to take a look at my phone because I was listening to music and I was switching over music real quick, and I just happened to have a news app pop up, and it said about Ozzy's death. I'm like, there's no way. I had just seen
back at
the beginning stuff, and I'm like, this is insane.
Yeah.
And I just happened to read like 2 weeks later while I was cleaning, Ozzy's dead. I'm like, wait, what?
I know Ozzy. That one, really, broke me up. Ozzy's death. That was just. I mean,
Yeah,
that was.
that one hurt me. Hogan's death hurt me a little bit.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I have the front page. I have the New York Post still of Hogan, and he was he made the front page of the New York Post. His death. Yeah, Hogan's
and
death.
it's
It hurt. It
I
did.
found it. I don't know if I find it ironic, but the same person, Rick Derringer, that did Hogan's
Real
theme
America.
song,
Yep.
died the same year that Hogan died.
And in fact, he died like I want to say about 2 months earlier or something like that. It was about 2 months earlier. Because I had Mark Farner on of Grand Funk Railroad. And I asked him about Rick Derringer. I had Mark Farner on in June, and Rick Derringer died, I think, late April. I had Mark, and I asked Mark Farner about that question. Grand Funk Railroad. Yeah, Rick Derringer's death was another one.
It was. I don't know if I mean, I'm not finding it ironic or anything, but it's like, what coincidence is like the biggest song and the biggest star.
Well,
that
I
came
think
out
the
of the golden era.
Yeah, I think the magnitude, Hogan and Ozzy. I think to have them, whatever you thought about Hogan or Ozzy biting the head of a bat or Hogan's political stuff, in 48 hours to have two men of that magnitude dying, that's, I can't think of an instance, at least in our generation, that it happened. I can't think of it. Two deaths in 48 hours. You know what I'm saying?
I can't even think of anything that big that's happened like that within the 48 hours.
Yeah. Not within 48 hours. Not within 48 hours. Yeah, that was just, I to me that was just, I did I asked, like I said, I had Jumpin' Jim Brunzell. We talked about Hogan. He said a lot about Hogan, and we talked about him.
And unfortunately, I respect the man as a wrestler.
Yeah.
What he did outside the ring, I'm not even going to.
Yeah, he said some things that were really debatable at best.
Yes, but I have all the respect in the world for what he did as a wrestler.
Yeah, Jim Brunzell praised him. He said he did look out for other wrestlers. He praised him. He did praise him. I
forgot there was another one that happened like 48 hours. Sabu.
Yeah, right. Sabu.
He had his last match, and then all of a sudden,
yeah, right. GCW. Yeah, that's right. Good point. Sabu was another one. We talked about Sabu. I talked about him with Gary Wolf, but Sabu was alive at the time. But I talked about him with Gary Wolf because Gary, it's there's a lot of bad debt. Listen, that's let's move and hopefully have some positives. But
anyway,
yeah.
But thank you to all the DBW universe.
Yes.
Thank you to all the Sportswire Radio universe that's out there. 2025, you have made this one of the more popular. I'm talking both here and DBW. You have helped DBW become very much more popular than it ever has been. You have made Sportswire one of the more.
Sportswire legit, it's a legit platform now. You get celebrities, big things.
Legit.
It's legit
Now. Thanks to everyone that watches here every.
And I want to thank the DBW verse. I'm with you. I want to thank DBW for their support, because I love having DBW on. And, it's been great this year. I think it's the best year we've ever had covering DBW because we've gone right to the wrestling. Everybody's had a good time, and DBW's played a huge role in Sportswire and our success. So it's a mutual thing. We have Ace, Cyrus has been here many times. Ace was here in July, and he was here twice this year. And, Silas has been here a few times this year. I mean, Hanson's been here. Aaron goes without saying. Mr. Wakefield. I mean, you have a lot of great people from DBW that were here this year. I mean, Brandon was here this year. I mean, so a lot of great people. Austin James was here, a couple of times. I love talking to Austin. I mean, a lot of great people, and DBW's played a huge role in that. I wouldn't be where I am without a company like DBW. So I am, forever grateful for DBW's support. Hit the sub button for DBW, and I'll let you know if I'm here on New Year's Eve. I'll definitely keep you posted. And in the meantime, you did join the Hall of Fame. You ruined your own surprise, but that's okay. We'll let you pass on that. And my friend, I am so happy you came back. We got to talk some DBW once again, and we'll see about Robert Pearson. We'll see about what Cyrus says, and I know we'll all be tuned in to what Ace Christian most importantly has to say. And happy holidays, my friend. I will certainly see you soon, and let's see if you have a better year with some championship gold in 2026.
We'll see. Like I said, thank you to all the DBW universe out there. Without your support, none of this is even made possible for any of the DBW roster. So
yeah,
without your guys' support, we wouldn't be doing this.
4,200 subscribers, nearly 1 million plus views. An amazing, amazing number. And it's only going to grow from here. The best is yet to come. And one of those reasons why, despite when he said about his tag team partner, that is the one and only Colten Lee. And you'll see him coming up in 2026 in DBW. And my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice, figuratively and literally, with all music and wrestling matters. If you're here on Sportzwire Radio, like, share, and subscribe. Follow DBW on all social media platforms. We'll see you tomorrow. I'm talking a different topic. So until then, we're going to basketball tomorrow. We're going into less controversial territory. You're getting a lot less controversial shows on Sportswire. So we want to keep that going. But thank you, everybody. And we'll see you tomorrow. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, on the number one global radio, the Sportswire Radio, with all music and